Did these protesters just put more American jobs against a wall? Well, ask Walmart, because now the retailer is looking to expand in China. Now, Wayne, is the anti-Walmart movement, is it costing American jobs?
Absolutely, Eric. I mean, we know what happened in Washington, for example, that protest down there against the Walmart was going to open there. We found there are plenty of places where Walmart was going to open in Chicago, outside of Jonathan's hometown, where they, rose against it. Now, they're not only going to China because they're being pushed there by the protesters, it's also an attraction. If they think they can do more business in China and do it cheaper, they're going to do it. I mean, it's a free market system.
Jonathan, Walmart, I would say if anything embodies the free market, free marketeers, it has to be Walmart. These guys are anti-union. They want low-cost services, goods, and they bring it to places where people would not necessarily be able to have those things in the rural areas of America, in the American DNA.
Yeah, and create a tremendous amount of wealth, Eric, in the process. I mean, China should be happy Walmart wants to come set up shop. Residential real estate values actually rise wherever Walmart builds a store. You've got people lining up to shop there, people lining up to work there. So to Wayne's point, protesters and union folks love to use government to try to clamp down on Walmart, but they're clamping down against people actually achieving their values, getting great values for their dollar and getting employment, not to mention great returns for shareholders as well. So it's pretty sad that Walmart's getting better treatment in China than they are in the U.S.
Okay, Ebony, the biggest pushback on Walmart seems to be the unions because they can't get their grimy little hands on Walmart. Where do you stand with Walmart?
Okay. Look, I think, we can't have it both ways with Walmart. They're in the business of not necessarily doing what's best for American citizens. They're in the business of making a lot of money, and they do that well. Look, I'm not really big on
Why are those mutually exclusive?
They're mutually exclusive.
Why are those mutually exclusive?
Walmart has it set up that way, Jonathan. Walmart has it set up that way. Their concern is not high wages. Their concern is not nice benefit packages for their employees. Like you said, and Eric pointed out correctly, their concern is getting the most money for their shareholders at the cheapest return. So I'm not upset with Walmart for going to China.
That's not exactly what I said. Michelle, let me bring you in here. What I said was that Walmart enables people in rural communities to have some of the things that people in the urban communities have, and at a fair price.
Absolutely, and they provide so many jobs, provide so much economic growth. But, there's so many liberals and Democrats out here who treat them like they're a bunch of criminals. You can't blame them for wanting to go to China. I mean, just like what Wayne said, look what happened in D.C. The union bosses pushed to make the minimum wage higher for Walmart, and only Walmart, because they wanted to make it too costly for them to do business here. I mean, shouldn't we be promoting and trying to encourage businesses like Walmart to open and expand? Why are we trying to move them to China?
Right. Okay, so let's talk about this, Jonathan. You're a free marketeer guy. Now, Walmart says we are going to focus on buying made in the USA. So if companies make stuff overseas, they would rather buy it from them if they open a plant in America. Are you okay with that?
I'm actually against that, Eric.
Right.
I think this whole notion of buy American is actually un-American. American companies should buy the lowest quality products at the lowest price products at the highest possible quality. If they happen to be made overseas, that's even better. It allows Americans to save money, and those resources to be more deployed in more profitable and productive ways.
Now, Wayne, therein lies.
But that doesn't help
hold on,
American
guys.
jobs.
Hold on. Let me bring it to Wayne. But therein lies one of the dilemmas of a true libertarian like Jonathan. You want to be a free marketeer, but you also want to be patriotic. Where do you stand on this one?
Well, I think there has to be a blend there somewhere. One of the more interesting facts is that the garment business, which was all in the United States at one time, moved to China and India and is now beginning to come back. Why? Because the wages in those countries are rising, and they're getting a middle class in those countries, and some of those jobs are going to return to the United States. So capitalism as a theory works everywhere.
Michelle, I love Made in the USA. It's just when you want to say total free market, it should find the best price, should it not?
Yes. Look, I think, though, that the most patriotic thing is when someone provides a service that is good and it's cheap and it gives consumers more money to keep for themselves. I think that Made in the USA is great, but I'd rather have a product that's cheap so that me and my family could have more money. So
right.
whatever's cheapest. So I agree with Jonathan.
Let me get Ebony in here real quickly. Ebony, last thought.
Yeah, I want to see American jobs for Americans. I'm sorry, guys. I appreciate the consumerism aspect you're arguing, but I want to see jobs coming back to our country so hardworking Americans can have these opportunities. That's patriotism to me. Sorry.
Yeah, but ultimately they will come back because those, it's just what I said. In those countries, you see wages rising, you see a middle class developing in those countries. They will come back to the U.S.
And by the way, Walmart has pledged to buy somewhere in the neighborhood of $50 billion U.S. products. Hats off to them as well. All right, we're going to leave it right there. Thanks to